Hello, weary travelers, and welcome to the Come and Go Tavern. My name is Sheila Ornithalis, and I'll be your hostess this afternoon. Today's kitchen special is meat pockets, because our kitchen is feeling, pretty normal and usual right now. And so we really are just making a lot of kind of end of the year stuff that is good old homespun stuff for us, but, isn't necessarily super special. But I love it. I love them. One of my favorite foods anyway. It's essentially ground beef with cream cheese wrapped in a flaky biscuit or what's the croissant dough sort of thing. They're very, very good. You can add a little bit of spice to them as well, but either way. Anywho, it looks like Rebecca is currently available for a full service package, if you know what I mean. But if you see anything or anyone else on the menu that you're interested in, just let me know and we'll see what we can do. It is time for our 16th TTRPG Tuesday and my last stream of the year. We are once again deep into cleanup for ProtoDrive's next big public release, focusing on layout and normalization of all of the tables across the whole book. That being said, I'll also be happy to answer any questions you have about my other games or just TTRPGs in general, because I have lots of opinions. Plus, it's just nice to co-work sometimes, so feel free to join in with your own projects too. As always, I'll also be available for comments, questions, and concerns about the tavern, as well as a regular old conversation, so don't be afraid to fill that chat with discussion. And yeah, let's head on over to the, well, I guess it's not really the game screen, but the work screen, Alrighty. So last time we redid all of the editing on part 2 and then jumped back to part 0 because I, silly enough, wasn't thinking about it and forgot I should probably also do part 1 as well. So let's go ahead and go through this real quick. We are removing any direct references to like you the player and switching it over to like third person discussion and stuff like that, as well as removing single word dangling lines and doing a little bit of just layout or reorganization as we go. Oh, what the? Hang on. Huh? That's strange. I see that. Okay, my head. Maybe. Sorry, my headset just disconnected from my computer. That's a weird one. Yeah, hang on a second. Hello, headset? Okay, and now I can hear again. Weird. Bluetooth was not meant to do what we make it do, but that's fine. Won't be winning too many races. There we go. I just think that's funnier because you can absolutely run a race on foot. You're not going to win. Hello, Rock Dwarf VT. I hope you enjoy your lurk. We are working on ProtoDrive today, just kind of changing some of the language around so it's a little more third person, making sure that we're not including any sort of like single word dangling lines at the end, and just all around making layout look a bit better ahead of the next big update. So if I'm a little quiet or if I just seem to be reading out loud, that's basically what I'm doing. I hope you have a project that you get to work on yourself, and otherwise just, you know, enjoy your lurk. This would be a good place for a little bit of art. Let's wood this. I don't want to send that onto the next page. Hmm. 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 Thank you very much for the hydrate blasty. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Mm. Good water. Hmm. All ranks from one of their vehicle license. Well, looking into planning a Highlander campaign with a partner uses the D20 Modern system based on the Everyday Hero subbase. Ooh. I feel like there might be a better system than D20 Modern, if only just to make it, like, a little bit more fantastic. I know that Highlander isn't all that fantastic, but I don't know, D20 Modern feels like, at least by base, a little too realistic. Maybe? I don't know. It's been a long time since I looked at that one. Oh, there's actually like a Highlander book for it. Oh, well then there you go. God, so they really were just throwing the D20 license at everything back in those days. D20 Modern leans more low-key cyberpunk and post-apoc. Hey, fair enough. Like, I remembered the post-apocalyptic part because, like, that was always a big part of that. But I didn't remember the cyberpunk bit. Oh, also, we have new music from Demon School, which I started playing on Saturday. And of course I had to get the soundtrack to it, you know? Which of course means now it's added to these rotations. I said just use something more like Monster of the Week, but that's just you throwing out ideas. I mean, Monster of the Week isn't a bad idea. Honestly, Blades in the Dark wouldn't be a bad idea either. Depending on how you want to run the campaign, though. Oh, there was a couple of, like, dueling-specific TTRPGs that I remember from a while back. What were they called? And I feel like that might be more applicable specifically for the combat of, like, there can only be one Highlander, you know what I mean? Plan is focused around investigating and duels. Okay, so a Forged in the Dark game wouldn't necessarily be a bad idea then, because, like, the investigation phase... Ooh, or Aegon. Aegon is made by the same company, but it has a slightly different focus. Yeah, let's see. Investigation and duels. Oh, oh goodness, there was a very Regency-themed TTRPG that was all about, like, social situations and dueling. Oh, goodness gracious. I'm sure I'll think of it later. If I remember by Toku Tuesday this evening, I'll let you know. I don't think it was. No. That's not Sentai and Sensibility. No, it was specifically written as like a. We are going to do like alternating scenes of like. Essentially, we're building up towards the duel, like through. Hello, Weather. How are you doing today? But it was essentially written as a. Okay, all right. I will go ahead and hydrate. Good water. Oh, and Yogas is here too. Good posture check. Not a full stretch, but good to have a good posture check. But yeah, no, like it was broken up into scenes that were, you know, all social based. Just a little stretch. As a treat. It was broken up into social scenes, and essentially like through like each character having a social scene with at least one or two other characters involved, you would build the relationships between those characters and slowly like increase the pressure until somebody like some pairing of those characters hit a breaking point at which they would have to duel one another. As good Regency and Victorian and Elizabethan folks were wont to do. I want to say it had a somewhat Shakespearean sounding name, but don't quote me on that. Oi! Not allowed. Oh, right. Okay, how did we... Then we did... that instead. There we go. I guess we did do chassis license instead of vehicle license. That means I need to rework this again. Hello, Dacia! The eternal wrestling with nested tables and any word processing software. Right now, we're also focused on layout, so like getting rid of single little words down here, like what we've got right there. It's a nightmare. Hang on, I'll also zoom this in a little bit so it's easier to read. Oh, I I mean, I could cheat and just bump the chassis down to the next line manually. Yeah, fuck it. I don't want to wrestle with that one anymore. Alright, so this table's already been normalized. Driver is the person by the wheel. But yes, happy holidays to everybody. If you've not been with us thus far throughout the holiday season, I hope you're having a good one. The snow is on the ground here. I am going to be picking up some people at an airport later, so I'm really hoping it doesn't get too much thicker. But you know how these things go. And I hope everybody's just, having a good day. What in the... Is this one of the museum themes? Yep. Okay, this is the museum art room. Like, I don't recognize this one. Stream streak. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. As each player creates their character, they will make life choices, or they will make choices that help them figure out complex things like who their driver is and what they want. Despite these lofty ideas, actually creating said character is mechanically a pretty straightforward process. Okay, that does mean 3 bots banks. Oh no! Let's go ahead and column break that so that backgrounds just start there. Okay. Yes. Yeah, no, like that actually, if you're hearing some like audio distortion and stuff like that, that's actually a part of the um the soundtrack for this game. And no, I don't know. I tend to kind of read stuff out loud because what my writing style tends to be very spoken word. I was literally raised backstage. Can you blame me? It's so I do a lot of vocal storytelling, and so like as I'm typing stuff, I tend to say stuff, like just essentially speak what I'm writing to myself to make sure that it actually makes sense. Because sometimes stuff makes sense purely if it's written on the page or you think it makes sense until somebody actually says it out loud and tries to explain it to other people. And it's one of my, especially in rule books, that is one of my biggest pet peeves of something that looks like it's going to make sense on the page, and then you say it out loud while you're trying to explain it to another player and go, wait, what the fuck does that mean? And so like sometimes I will just mouth along instead of actually speaking. And there's also just the fact that my model's mouth is designed or is set up to respond to noise coming through the microphone. Hello, Meat Stick. Hope you enjoy your lurk. And so, you know, the tippy tappy of my keyboard might just occasionally make the mouth move, you know, even if I'm not saying anything. A number of times I've written something and then read it out loud and gone, nobody talks like that. Yeah, exactly. You get it, Yokas. And like, if it's a character giving dialogue in fiction, sometimes that can still work because maybe this character talks like that. Maybe that's part of their quirks, you know, but when you're actually trying to get like clear-cut rules across to somebody, you have to be able to explain those rules yourself, at the very least. And so that's been the biggest development part of this book is like, it's been in development for, oh gosh, going on 4 years now, 5 years maybe even. And like myself and the friend that were originally writing the book together, we understood it like implicitly because like, well, of course we understood it. We made it together. And so like, it's just, oh, hello.
Hey Mom, look at this cool animal I found.
That's an adorable little, what is
Can
it?
I keep it?
No, sweetie, we have to take that back outside. Give me just a second. You can tell me all about it. All right. But yeah, of course we understood all the rules because like we created it, you know? But then when we actually started trying to explain it to other people, we were like, oh no, this is going to take a lot of work. And that's pretty much what I've been working on the last couple of years. So yeah. Yeah, let me get to the end of this pair of paragraphs and then we'll go to a commercial break real quick. Each character's background informs the GM and other players. Let's go with rest of the crew. Who which part? Hmm. Does that fit? Oh, that all fits. Oh, neat. Okay, we'll come back to invoking backgrounds when I come back from break. But for now, I am going to go help make sure that we don't get a new animal in the menagerie. So I'll be right back in 5 minutes. Stand up, stretch, refresh your drinks, all that good stuff, and we'll be back soon. Okay, so that looks like a squirrel to me, but it looks a little bit different from the normal squirrels we found around here. Is that just because it's winterized right now, or like what's going on with that? Let's find out. Okay. So, let's talk about invoking backgrounds. Outside of a race, if your drivers... relevant to the situation... invoke it to incur 1 accuracy to +1 accuracy. Yeah, no. Hmm. Hmm. Alright, we've already updated the look for this. And we decided that we're fine with having first-person, references in things like abilities and backgrounds. So, you know, as much as I'm struggling to remove it from basic rules stuff, leaving things like board member, you're a high-paid, high-profile member of the elite that helps run a company of some merit. While some people might not like you, that doesn't make you any less important. That still is fine because it's describing a specific character. So it would almost be weird to say this character is a high-paid blah 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 blah, you know. Aw, beans. There's exactly one. That doesn't fit. All right, fine. I suppose we'll just redo all of those original column breaks. Hmm. 3, 4. All right, 5 columns of 4 it is. That's what it is. I can fill page bottoms with a little bit of art later on, I suppose. Alrighty, hello, good morning. I hope you're having a good day so far. We are working on ProtoDrive, mostly in making sure that, phrasing is correct and we don't have any weird hanging chunks at the bottom of any sections. Urges are getting to you. Oh, waiting for RE9 still. Urges are getting to you. You're getting very excited for the game to come out. Fair enough, fair enough. I thought we'd already gone past Resident Evil 9. Oh no, I guess we haven't. The last one was RE8, wasn't it? Huh. Wild. Game's going to be coming out in like 2 months. It's just been on your mind. Fair enough, fair enough. Hello, PNG Boomer. Everybody's coming on in today. It's going to be that stalker enemy. Ooh, fun, fun. Hope you're doing well today, PNG Boomer. We are just working on ProtoDrive. Okay, so for anyone who doesn't know what this game is, because of the fact that we've got so many people with us today, finally back at your big computer after moving. Ooh, fun, fun, fun. ProtoDrive is a TTRPG that makes use of the Massive Press Lancer license and the Lancer system as the core of the game, but instead reframes it around driving cool vehicles and racing against cool people. Think things like Initial D, Fast and the Furious, Redline, those sorts of fun things. And right now, like it is already available on itch.io. But we are going to be doing... Hang on, let me... Shoot. Is that the correct one? Or is it... RPGs... There it is. So the player portion of it is already fully available over on itch.io. You can have fun with that already. The next big update is going to be putting out all of the mechanical stuff for GMs, as well as be a huge layout update, which is what we're working on right now, in fact, to help it become an even bigger game than it already is. Yeah. As far as I'm aware, we're the first people to make use of the Massive Press license to make something other than Lancer. Which is fun as hell to me. The driver's triggers is relevant to a skill check they're trying to make. Thank you very much for the hydrate. Okay. Friendly. We're also just occasionally checking and finding typos and stuff, which is always fun, let me tell you. I'm gonna drink some more water. Figure finish off my first cup of water, the stream. Switch over to my second, you know. That good old-fashioned Baroque music. I want to say this is the 1997 album. So the original one for the Sega. I want to say it was the Saturn, could have been the Genesis. But I know it's not the PS2 update. Or the Wii one that also came out around the same time. Okay, 98. So yeah, it really could have been the Saturn or the Genesis. Yeah, definitely need to double check that one because pilot should have been changed to driver long ago. Ah, boo. Now, is this the version that has the vocals or not? It is. Okay, skipping that. Hmm. There's got to be a phrasing thing I can update to get rid of, to either get rid of this dangling word or to add more words to make it read a little bit better visually. To scan better visually, that's the word I was looking for. Hmm. suppose I could just alter that to be TN. Yep, that makes the most sense, I suppose. There we go. Again, this is one of those places that having the text refer directly to a character makes sense. So I'm not going to worry too much about that part. Can come in clutch. Dang it. Okay. Okay, that feels better. It's a nice square paragraph. Squaregraph, if you will. I shouldn't, but I will. I did. Uh, Hello, Caster. It goes very well. Currently, we're working on one of those sections that we are kind of like expanding the different various triggers to make them read a little bit better. You just again continuing kind of our layout work and all of that sort of fun stuff. How are you doing today? Technically a work day, used to get the COV work done. Hey, fair enough, fair enough. It's a good day to be working on games. I'm absolutely glad that I decided to go back and do some rework on parts 0 and 1 of the book, because we've already found a number of typos and things that could be explained a little bit better. Like, most of it is just like slight wording changes, but isn't that always the way when you're working on rules? Returning with fresh eyes, exactly. Nope, we're gonna ignore that because that's a turn of phrase. Gods, the Okami soundtrack goes so fucking hard. That entire game had so much more love that put into it than so many other things in the the gaming sphere. Speaking of games that had way more content than they needed to have, goodness gracious. It was definitely a labor of love, one of their strongest works, though you do like Bayo one bit more. Hey, fair enough, fair enough. Like, Okami is a special love letter to not just the mythology of modern Japan, but also the historical mythology of the peoples that have been the people of Japan even before the modern people of Japan. Especially the expansions that were done for the Wii and future releases, where they actually added in like 2 extra sagas essentially. It was unfinished content for the original PS2 release, and they basically like every time went back a little further in history and a little further in history and a little further in history to touch upon mythologies of even the original clans of Japan. And so like, yeah, just absolutely gorgeous stuff. And then, you know, Wandering Swords here, or Wandering Swords. Sorry, there is a TTRPG called Wandering Blades, which is coming out soon, that I keep swapping the names of because they're both great works of wuxia. But Wandering Swords, oh my goodness, I put well over 100 hours into that, and I know I didn't get all of the content done. That was absolutely amazing. Should you do a wuxia varying of Wandering Spark if Wandering is a genre signifier? So, it's okay. It is kind of a genre signifier, but it's something that, like, I don't know, a lot of Western fans may or may, well, I don't know, because if they're fans, they'll catch it right away. Because the idea is that the hero of a wuxia piece should be someone who's not directly associated with a given school, at least at the start of the story. Like, they may become associated with a specific school, but they're not going to be somebody who stays on, like, a specific straight and narrow path of the school. They're going to be somebody who learns things from other places and learns things from other people, because a big part of being a wuxia hero is having a broader view than the people around you so that you can see a better solution. Sometimes that solution does involve violence. Often it does in some way, shape, or form. But yeah, so I don't know, maybe something to think about at the very least. Traditionally outsiders, yes. Actually, almost always, now that I'm thinking about it. Either somebody who is obviously an outsider, or somebody who blends into society but is really an outsider on the inside, if that makes sense. There is a really fantastic Jet Li film called Iron Monkey, which does a great job of portraying that one, because an inside outsider, yep, outside insider, you know, however you want to say it. There's a lot of fun wordplay there. But the main character pretends to be a, you know, like a respectable doctor in the... Oh, hello?
Mom, can you help me get a snack off the high shelf?
I mean, I can, sweetie, but aren't you taller than me at this point?
Yeah, but you have that grabby spell that I don't.
Okay. No, that's a good point. All right. So to finish my description, for Iron Monkey, he pretends to be I shouldn't say he pretends to be, he is a respectable community doctor in the day, but is essentially kind of a Robin Hood style figure at night. really doing the whole stealing from the rich, giving to the poor thing, because while he may appear to be high society, he actually came from much more, what's the word I'm looking for? Not reduced, but finer means, if that makes sense. I'm using it in the original context of the word fine because I can't think of the other words I'm looking for. And yeah, so like it's that idea of, even if the character appears to be somebody who fits into society, they really don't in some way, shape, or form. But as a result of that, they can improve the world in ways that those who do fit into those systems can't, because they see how the system is broken. I'm noticing a trend in my media now suddenly. Yes, humble. Iron Monkey's origins are very humble. In other places, you'll see retellings that take a more Buddhist approach, where the character comes from the exact opposite of humble means. They may have come from, wealth or royalty or things like that, but have seen how terrible the world is for others around them and forsaken those riches in order to, affect bigger change in the world. But I will be more than happy to talk about that sort of a thing when we come back from our short break here. So we're going to go do 5 minutes. I'm going to put on a commercial, and we will be back very soon. Alrighty, sweetie. So, we've still got some of those peanut M&Ms if you want some of those, but we do also have a couple of jars of cookie butter. Now, they are the crunchy kind, because that's the kind I like, but I have a little bit. right. So, funny enough, in rereading and doing a little bit of rewriting for the problem solving through violence trigger, that actually ties into one of the things that I always like to bring up about wuxia, which is that any emotion can beget violence. Obviously you have anger and sadness and strife and hatred and those things, but even something like love can lead to violence under the right circumstances. Either because somebody is being extremely stupid and making a decision that will harm themselves, and so you have to do a smaller violence in order to prevent something bigger, or something that they've done just rends your heart just absolutely wide open, and you can do nothing except express how you feel about it. John Wick is pure revenge. That is violence begetting violence. I'm more talking about joyous violence, which feels very Dynasty Warriors. Rejoice in the glory of combat. Exactly. That is a whole other thing, which is very, very difficult to get across to a lot of audiences, especially in the West. But no, I was thinking more along the lines of, there are a couple of characters from, I want to say the name of the movie in English is just Hero. Yes. Oh, ow. Exactly, though. But it's these characters, despite having been lovers, and I hesitate to even call them husband and wife, because, like, that doesn't feel like it expresses the depth of their love for one another well enough. These people who have been in each other's lives for decades end up on opposite side. It did. At least it played on my side. Did it not play on your side? Oh, hang on a second. Oh, dang it, hang on a second. I know exactly why that's happening. Okay, hang on a minute. Nope, I know exactly why that's happening. Let's try that again. Let's do this one just
because
for shits
God
and
has
giggles.
cursed me for my hubris, and my work is never finished.
Hang on a second. That's really weird. Okay, but you did hear cursed. Okay, that's working now. Hang on, I'm gonna play overthinking. Oh, no. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna manually do this. Okay, why are we not hearing that? I did some reorganization and shoving into folders of some of my sources, and I'm wondering if... So it's on... yeah, exactly. Oh, you did hear it. That's really weird. Okay, because I'm not seeing it in my audio mixer now. Like, I've been hearing these things the entire time, but I'm not seeing them in my audio mixer. Let's try the rejoice one more time.
Rejoice in the glory of combat!
Ow. So did you hear it that time? I wonder why it's not showing up in my audio mixer, but okay, so I solved the problem. It's just not, for whatever reason, the audio is not popping up in my mixer. Okay, so I've got two different folders, one for video games, one for these kind of co-working streams. And I had put my Vignon audio into the video game folder for some reason. What I really should be doing... Okay, did you hear that one? Indeedy. Okay, good. Okay, so yeah, I just moved it to a different folder that's still turned on. It really should have been in my models folder anyway, because that's what it's attached to. But who knows? I'm just trying to clean up my sources. Thankfully, I do think I can get rid of my game audio source at this point now that the game audio capture is behaving a little bit better than it was originally. But anyway, joyous violence and, the violence of love. Like, those two people ended up, like, even though they'd been deeply, deeply in love for decades, they ended up on opposite sides of a battle between two different, one person who was a ruler, another person who wanted to cast that ruler out in order to make the empire better for the people. And just through the lives they'd led, the people they'd befriended, and like the schools and places that they held fealty to, even though, like, despite their feelings for one another, they felt called to combat and ended up killing each other as a result of it. And it is one of the most gorgeous, absolutely heart-rending fights that has graced the screen. It's heart-shattering. But it was something that narratively was unavoidable because of every decision they'd made in their lives leading up to that point, And so, yeah, sometimes there's even violence in love, the point I'm trying to get at. So sometimes you got to do some problem solving through violence, even with people who you love. At least in stories. Real life, talk that shit out, Stories are one thing. Real life is a different thing. Read the room. Listen, it is so hard not to just apostrophe that and remove the G. I come from a very southern place. What a mood, exactly, right? Listen, there are certain turns of phrase that just, feel wrong when they're spelled correctly, It's characterful. You're not wrong. The problem here is I don't know if there is a correct way to what the fuck? To apostrophize that. It's not really a phrase that's meant to be written down, if that makes sense. Like, it is very much an accent thing. And it's not exactly a piece of spoken dialogue, so I don't know how to really get that across. Okay, so fun fact on a similar subject, and this is absolutely a thing that people who come from outside the southern United States probably are completely unaware of. Are you all aware of how much of a fight there is between different southern writers about how to properly spell the word y'all? Like, I have very strong feelings about one specific way of it, but I've also had like 15-20 minute conversations. Yeah, right? That's how it's it's a contraction. It's a contraction. It's you all. It's Y''ALL. Like, that's the way that makes the most sense. Okay, good. I'm in good company then. Balls to y'all. Because like, that's the thing though. Like, I can see a certain amount of argument because it's y'all. So it's not even a proper U, but even in that case, I would still say like Y''ALL, y'all, the other way. Exactly. But yeah, no, seriously, like, it was, and this is, again, stepping out of character a minute here, but, like, I straight up got into arguments with people about this in college. See, that's a great point, because, yeah, ''LL is already existing suffix. Yay, linguistics! But with one particular friend who isn't even from the South, he just likes to fight. Oh, I love that. That's a friend who's creating the AO3 equivalent of sexual tension in a conversation. Oh, yanked? Mm-hmm. People watching the TV show of your life going, fight, 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 kiss, kiss, kiss. Yelative is a personal favorite. Listen, the first time I hit somebody with that in an essay, they were like, I feel like I should take points off for this, but I'm not going to because it does follow all linguistic rules. It's like, you damn right it does. Or itsn't. That's one of my favorite ones. Hang on, I'm gonna... That. Like, this is borderline blasphemy, but it does technically work. Oh yeah, please do, please do. It is, exactly, it is not. It realistically saves on like 1.5 characters on a line. It's it's not functionally useful, but it is good as far as like accents go and expressing like a specific vibe. Well, it's kind of like the 4- that I did for Stomel, so that others may live. It's like, it doesn't, yeah, okay, you could say you succeed on a 5+, but saying you fail on a 4- gives a very different vibe. Knowing the people community can get you access. Okay, so that's all good. This table's already been adjusted. Been fighting. Good. I've given you ammunition then. Oh. Mm. Oh. Alright, so for instance, if 3 players all roll the adjective narrow, the first one's driver might be particularly skinny, while the second instead decides that their driver has extremely narrow cheekbones, and the third makes their character notably narrow-minded in their thinking. Adjectives describe something about a character, physical trait, or something about their personality. Ah, beans. Trying to eliminate the single word by adding more words and just ended up with another single word. Love the encouragement of wordplay there in narrow-minded. Exactly. So the idea is that, like, these are just very broad adjectives about a character. It gives people something to work from and to be like, oh, goodness gracious. Another one that I just came up with. Cultured can mean 2 very different things depending on the definition you're using. This could be someone who comes from high culture, somebody who's very well traveled and understands other cultures around them, or somebody who really needs some, like, head and shoulders, if you know what I mean. Like, be open-minded about it. Encourage wordplay. I mean, listen, I'm just saying. You know, statuesque could mean a bunch of different things. That's another great one. Like, you could look like a Greek statue, like very chiseled. You could have stony, like a stony expression, you know, somebody who's very hard to read. Or you could be the very definition of a mook, you know, like the kind of person who, like, as you get out of your car, people wonder, how did that person fit in that car? They are so broad-shouldered, you know? That sort of a thing. Like, there's so many ways to go around looking at these adjectives. Like, just, oh my goodness, there's wordplay to be had. There's always wordplay. If nothing else, that's one of the big things about my stories and my stuff, is I will always include ways to do wordplay. Like watching Shaq get out of his car. Exactly. Exactly. Oh, goodness gracious. There was a bit in The Simpsons years ago. I want to say it was in the first 10 seasons, but like this guy who's like 7 foot something getting out of a Mini Cooper or something silly like that, where it's just, he literally like unfolds to get out of his vehicle. Like, it's a more extreme version of what Shaq has to do, but you know, same kind of gimmick. Just remember, like, Nelson laughing at him and being like, oh, I've bought the best car I can afford on my salary. How dare you laugh at me about that? How would you like it if people laughed at you? It turns into a whole thing. All right, I think I feel better about that phrasing. Check out a whole animated series about... He did? What? Oh, here's another fun thing, and I think we talked about it on stream when I originally wrote this caster, but like the idea that a nickname is specifically something that's given to them by like other characters. Children's show, they're superhero adjacent. Ooh, neat. I have no idea if that'll be my kind of jam, but I am definitely going to have to at least check out an episode of it. And listen, we had to do it to him. There's always one, you know? You know that I've been on the internet for a certain amount of time when this was non-negotiable that I was going to include that. Very true, very true. Also, this one just felt really nice to be able to like instantly be like, oh hey, yeah, of course the non-binary version of cowboy and cowgirl is cowpoke. Like of course, that one just that exists in the language already. It's great. Had to be a little bit meta with the hobbies of the characters. Ooh, this is a wall of text. Let's see if I can break this up into a couple of paragraphs. That feels like an appropriate spot for a column break. Again, we can shove some art in there at a later time. Oh boy, we're getting into the specifics now. Oh. Let's see. Is not a screen name a nickname? Yeah, but I feel like screen names feel a little bit different because nickname, like it has the implication socially of something that other people call you. Like there is a certain amount of military culture to it where, like, for instance, a friend of mine got the very, very cool call sign of Deadline for doing for something very stupid happening to him. There was an issue with a parachute ripcord essentially not operating the way that it was supposed to. And so, like, usually nicknames happen because it's something that, like, was embarrassing or some, like, trait that other people want to, you know, like, just do a bit of friendly ribbing about, that sort of a thing. Whereas a screen name is how you choose to represent yourself. So I don't know, the mechanics of it feel a little bit different, you know? Nope, that didn't fix the problem. Create their own? Yeah, that fixes that problem. No, not can, car. Oh, goodness. It is easy to forget just how sad Shadowrun Hong Kong was. Like, it's a rough situation. And, like, it's... Could it have done a better job at telling the story it was trying to tell? Yes, I will never say that. But the fact that pre-2020, that dev team was already trying to tell a story about how someone can essentially deprogram themselves and their loved ones from a life spent as part of the law enforcement system, and make the world a better place, not just for those who are supported by the corporate autocracy, but everyone else who gets left in the sidelines. Again, the fact that that game came out pre-2020, kind of fucking wild, you know? And it did a fairly good job of dealing with the idea of like, oh, hey, these characters who have grown up indoctrinated by, not necessarily being in the lap of luxury, but indoctrinated by the system, suddenly being thrown into a situation where like, hey, motherfucker, you are now punks, whether you like it or not, and you have to learn how to survive in the same way that the people who you previously have thought down about, and thus learn something about not just them, but yourself as well. Just, it's really cool. It's really cool. And again, sad moments that really humanize the characters and show that, like, I don't want to say everybody can learn better, but, like, it's a good idea not to write people off about it, you know? Oh, hello?
Someone's flirting with Dad again.
Nerds. Okay, so are we talking, like, stage flirting, or is somebody, like, really trying to jump his gun, as it were?
He sent me to get you.
Buddy. Okay, yeah, you know what? We're at a good pause point, so let's go ahead and take another commercial break. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Hopefully I won't have to ban anybody like I did that. Anyway, yeah, we'll be back in 5. So we'll continue our trawl through part 1 of the book in a few minutes. Who is it this time? Okay, that... Alrighty, we are back. So I did a couple of nudges in this first paragraph here, but it was mostly just like correcting spelling mistakes and things like that. Ba, 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 ba. This is something that I desperately want to come back to in the catalog and work on for version 0.9 once this update goes out. Basically, I want to make tinkering a more meaningful part of the game. And then we can get rid of that. And then bump driving modifiers to the next page. Oh, beans! I need to go back and change all of those to use vehicle instead of car. Hmm. Hmm. Got a dangling word here. There we go. Okay, that worked. There we go. Oh, you're on mobile, so yeah, still watching and listening. Hey, fair enough, fair enough. I appreciate you being here. Even if you can't chat, it's just nice to have people here with me. And hopefully you're enjoying the music alongside it, even if I'm not always being so chatty. Oh, beans, I have car in there again. That's a fun one. Ah. I need to go back and check something. With the driver. Yep, that's what I thought. Okay, because the character is the kind of conglomerate for the driver and the vehicle. And I just realized that I had not changed that earlier. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think a manual line break is the only way to fix that one. Oh, some nice chill beats of Terror from Paradise Killer. Which, if anybody in the audience has not played and somehow also does not own yet, is on a super great sale right now. It will change your life. Oh, come on. Double check something on the leveling. Yep, we left that as chassis. And then chassis license. Okay, good. I need to add something more here. Okay, that works. Oh wow, that almost sounded like it was from like a Super Robot Wars at first.
Experience Bish.
Oh. Thank you very much. Don't know what I did to deserve that, but you know. Right, I think I'm going to take a quick break. We're close enough to the next commercial break that I'm in fact going to reset my timer and just do that now. Because I need to go to the little goblin's room. So, I will be back in 5 or so minutes, and we will continue work. Let's go ahead and do that. Alrighty, we are back and we are launching into probably the last section of this stream. Once we finish part 1, we have already done part 2, I believe, so that'll serve as a good sort of way to round out the stream. Oh, big sneeze. Nope, I don't want to say that. I was going to say that, you know, core systems are not generally affected by other parts attached to the car, but I can't guarantee that, and it's not really a useful phrase anyway. Ooh, good Mist soundtrack. That hasn't shown up in a while. Fantastic music choice from Battletech. I'd forgotten this was even in the soundtrack. Did I do meet up as a contraction? No, I did not. Hmm. No. Hmm. You know what? Let's go ahead and bump tires to the next page. Yeah, that means that really the only part that is on this first page is the engine, but it avoids having to break up that description of what tires actually... Oh, hang on. Wow, I was really chunky there for a second. Don't know why that was happening. Oh, might finally be time to update Vignan as well. Goodness gracious. I fully expected this section to just fly by, but yeah, no, we are taking our time, aren't we? Ooh. I should look for the word car. I zoned out a little bit. Just in swapping the word car for the word vehicle and making sure that stuff works out nicely. So, you know, we're still working. I'm just being quiet. And I hope you all are having a lovely day out there. Ooh, and before pushing this, I will have to do a page number check all throughout. That's going to be a fun day. Hmm. Oh, nope, nope, nope. I see. I see what's going on here. Oh,
Hey,
hello?
Mom, look at this cool animal I found.
Another one, sweetie?
Can I
What is
keep
it?
it?
No, no. Look, okay, give me a second to finish this up, and then you can tell me all about it while we find a new place for it to... Well, we figure out where it came from, and you help me figure out where we can put it back, okay? All right. I'm going to finish this up, and then we are almost at part 2 anyway, so we should be good to go. Unless a mod has a unique tag more than... eh. Hmm. Oh, goodness gracious. Hmm. Ah, beans. No, that sounds too negative. A character gets their first upgrade at SL3. So we're just going to do that and problem solved. Okay. That... I'm not necessarily entirely happy with that last section, but I don't really want to noodle on it now. Oh, except I don't want... There we go. Okay. I'm gonna call it there for the day, folks. Let's find a place to send you all off to, shall we? Oof. A lot of quiet updates today, but it was a lot of good changes to how wordings were, as well as to like clarity, and just general, again, layout stuff. So overall, a good day. Let's see. Who do I want to send you all off to? Huh. Okay, this is another day where there aren't really anybody I want to send you all off to that I know well enough. So I guess I'm just going to say ta-ta for now. Yeah, and hope you have a good day. So thank you very much for stopping by, Weary Travelers. I hope you've enjoyed today's TTRPG stream. I will be back on Friday, January 2nd to continue the Post-Dawn Trail main story quest of Final Fantasy XIV. I've been grinding tomestones to get my item level up, so we shouldn't run into any more issues like we did last week. Fingers crossed, anyway. For more information about future streams, keep an eye on our Blue Sky at Come and Go Tavern for daily check-ins and announcements from the Come and Go. I've been your hostess, Sheela Ornthalis, and I hope to see you all next time. Ta-ta for now. Bye. Bye. Mwah. Bye.